Dear friends, in the year 2014, Pope Francis wrote a very famous book called The Joy of the Gospels. In that book, Pope encourages us to remember what we have to be joyful about as friends of Christ. Advent would be a good time to take this message to our hearts and even make a new beginning of our faith in action. It's a time to open our hearts and invite the Lord to come into our lives more fully to guide us even in the coming days. Today we begin the Advent season. Advent means waiting or coming, and we wait for someone we love so dearly. For example, when we go to airports to catch a flight, we see lots of people waiting there. It is very interesting to watch these people waiting for their loved ones to arrive from another flight, excited, eager to the first appearance of their familiar face, ready with a smile or a hug when they come. Similarly, we too wait for the Lord's coming with that kind of eagerness and expectation because we long for His divine presence. It's a very patient, alert, and hopeful waiting in the Advent spirit. In today's Gospel, the Lord tells us, be vigilant and pray at all times. The Gospel also tells us, don't give up, don't be disappointed, don't be in fear. Your redemption is near. Therefore, we are to live in hope and anticipation. Stay awake to this season, the season in which we can grow in our faith. Maybe do a short retreat, do something good for others in need with your time or finance. Notice God's presence among us in the events of our daily life in the next coming weeks. Make time to be aware of the center of the universe, which is God Himself, and be amazed by God's action in creating and sustaining this beautiful and mysterious world every day. Advent is also a perfect time to revive resolutions we made last year and to make some new ones this time. And so to appreciate the Christmas season all the more. It's a good time to start the family practice of prayer before the meals. It's a good time to select some charitable organizations that you want to help, as you are already doing it. It's a time to restore broken relationship with the family members, among family members who have not been talking for a while. It is also time to renew ourselves in the grace of God through different sacraments. Now the question is, are we willing to match the preparations we make on the outside, externally, in these coming weeks with a similar preparation within ourselves? This Advent is a time to look at the quality of our Christian life, our regular participation at Mass, our kindness and lack thereof in dealing with other people, or our respect for others even with people we might disagree, our commitment to the family, our fidelity to the teachings of Christ and His Church, especially the sacredness and protection of the human life. Thus, the transforming power of the mystery of Christ and His Christmas is found not in the changes that take place on the outside of our homes, but the changes that happen within our hearts. These days, it is so tempting for us to get so wrapped up in our holiday shopping. We just finished the Black Friday shopping. Now we may be looking for other discounted Christmas decorations, artificial lights of the season, and that we may easily forget the true light, the light of Christ who came among us to save us. Finally, the readings today remind us that Advent is a time of waiting for the Lord, not just a recalling of the first Christmas that took place more than 2,000 years ago, but a joyful preparation for the fact that Christ will come again in glory and he will be reborn in our hearts. So the focus for us at the start of this Advent season is Jesus' invitation to each one of us to take stock of our life and to see how ready we are to welcome him as individuals, as a family, and as a community. Therefore, let us now make this season of Advent a time of spiritual renewal, a time of slowing down our life, a time to receive the Lord whenever and however he comes into our hearts. I like to end with a quote from Mother Teresa, who speaks about Advent and Christmas. She writes, "At this Christmas, when Christ comes, will he find a warm heart? Mark the season of Advent by loving and serving others with God's own love."